Assalamualaikum, my dear students of grade 5. I hope all of you are doing well. And this is your teacher Sidra Batul, and today we are studying a science lesson. As you know that we are studying the unit 2, we have studied the lesson 1 of the unit 2. The unit 2, which is about the ecosystems, we have studied its lesson 1 in the previous video, which was about how do living organisms interact with the environment and what are ecosystems. And the lesson 2 is about the what are food chains and food webs. Okay, so in today's lesson we have to study that what are the food chains and what are the food webs. Okay, so as well as the food chains and food webs concern, all of these are the ways for the flow of energy within the ecosystem. The basic thing, the main thing is the energy and the flow of energy within the environments, within the ecosystem as well. So as you know that in an ecosystem the energy flows from the sun toward the producers, from the producers toward the herbivores, from herbivores toward the carnivores, and finally to the decomposers as well. However, the most of the energy within an organism that is consumed does not reach the next organism. Okay, so for understanding the concept of the food chains and food webs within the ecosystems, first of all we have to understand that what is an energy pyramid. Okay, an energy pyramid is a diagram that shows the amount of energy that flows from producers to consumers, that within the food chains and within the food webs the energy which flows from all the levels of the organisms is represented by a conical diagram which is known as the energy pyramid. Here is the energy pyramid. Energy pyramid is widest at base. It means the level of energy is highest in producers and narrower at top. This shows that less energy flows upward. Okay, now see the energy pyramid. This is energy pyramid. At its base it is very wider. It means that at the lower level, at the base level, at the level of the producers, the energy level is highest. As it moves upward it becomes narrow down. It means that energy level is lowest in the last organism of that energy pyramid. That energy pyramid is basically to show the flow of energy within the different organisms. Okay, the food chains. You have studied the concept of the food chain in your previous classes as well, and you know that what is a food chain. Okay, energy transfer can occur through the food chains. A food chain shows the transfer of energy from one organism to other by eating or being eaten. One organism eats other organism to fulfill its food requirement, or it can be itself eaten by some other organism for fulfillment of the food requirement of that organism. So here's the way in which the food chain continues. Now food chain always begins with energy from the sunlight. Food chain begins with the energy from the sunlight. The plant absorbs those amounts of energy from the sunlight and photosynthesis occurs and plants make their own food. These plants are being eaten by primary consumer. Primary consumers are eaten by secondary consumers, and secondary consumers are being eaten by the tertiary consumer, and tertiary consumers are eaten by the decomposers, and decomposers again transfer those energy, those nutrients within the soil, which are again reused by the plants. So here is a food chain continue, which is a cyclic process. Here is the example of a symbolized food chain, like the sunlight is absorbed by green part of the plants, The energy moves from the sun to the producers. During photosynthesis, plants use carbon dioxide, water, and sunlight to make food. Those producers, which are plants, are eaten by the consumers. Those consumers are eaten by the other consumers. Animals eat plants. Both energy and matter are passed to the animals. Okay. Here's your homework, students. You have to read the page 20 carefully and fill out the blanks on book, which is on your page number 20. There are 3 blanks that you have to write the name of one producer, one consumer, 2 consumers, and 1 producer as well. You have to number the sequence of picture on page 21 on book and solve that how does energy flow in this food chain. And you have to fill the blanks from given words on page 21 on your book. You have to read that paragraph and fill out the blanks with the suitable words. Okay, so your next topic is the food webs. Okay, now you have understood the concept of the food chain. Food chain is a smaller chain. Different smaller food chains join, combine, and form a larger food web. So we can say that a food web is a combination of different smaller food chains. An ecosystem has many food chains combine to form a food web. A food web is a system of overlapping food chains in which the flow of energy branches out in many directions. Okay, so here is a food web. As you can see that there are different kind of simpler food chains. Those are connected with each other, forming a large food web. You can see the diagram on your book and can understand it as well. Okay, balance in the ecosystem. As you know that nature keeps the balance in everything, in the consumption of the resources and the resources as well. So there is a balance needed for the ecosystem. Populations in ecosystem can change naturally as the amount of resources change. When the resources are plentiful, the population get increased. When the resources are depleted, the population get decreased. As the population decreases, more resources will be available and the population will begin to grow again and the cycle will continue. It's a cyclic process. Through this cyclic process, the nature keeps the balance in the ecosystem. You know that populations in the ecosystem can change naturally as the amount of resources change. Like, for example, we can say that a population of deer mice will grow where food is plentiful. As the population increases, the more food, more water, and more living space are needed. Eventually, the population may use up these resources. Then each deer mouse will have less food to eat, less water to drink, and less space in which to live. As resources decrease, some deer mice will die or move out of the area. As the population decreases, more resources will be available to the remaining deer mice. The population will begin to grow again and the cycle will start again. Here's your homework, student. You have to read the page 22 carefully and mark the true and false on book. Read the page 23 thoroughly. Solve the blanks on page 23 on book. Solve the point 10 on book. Yeah, like you have to find living and non-living parts of ecosystem. Okay. Keeping in mind an ecosystem, you have to drag out its living part and the non-living part. And you have to write down the question answer of the chapter, which will be provided in the notes. So it was all about your lesson 2 of the unit 2. Thank you.